Welcome back to Inspiring Builds. I'm Dan, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get rid of voles and moles in your yard. In a previous video that I will queue up at the end of this one, I showed how to catch them with traps. Not everyone is comfortable with traps, and this method I will show next will catch a large colony in a short amount of time without having to worry about any traps. I will show you how to build these auto-feed bait stations and provide a link to everything needed in the description. One of the biggest yard pests are voles that are extremely destructive. Right here are holes and lines in the yard. What these are caused from are voles that like to burrow and tunnel under the ground. These lines are where their tunnels are, and they eat the roots from the bottom up, killing the grass. Voles often burrow under plants and eat away until the plant is dead. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any of these tutorials. Each bait station is cheaper when building more than one, as well as it expedites the process of getting rid of these destructive pests. Each bait station is built using 2-inch PVC pipe, a 2-inch PVC tee, and a 2-inch PVC cap. Tube straps are used with spikes to hold the bait stations down. For the auto bait feeder, a threaded rod is used with a wing nut, washer, and machine screw nut. For the bait, my go-to are these mini bars that has a hole in the middle to slide onto the threaded rod. When one bar gets ate, the next one will automatically drop down. Everything is dry fit, which is more than fine for these bait stations. Here I'm trying to determine the length of the vertical PVC to make my cut at, as I purchased 12-inch threaded rods. I want the threaded rods slightly sticking up from the bottom of the tee, as well as enough room to go through the top of the cap to insert a washer and machine screw nut. Make the mark, and I measured it at 8 1/4 inches. I went a little long to start as it's easy to trim some off, but we can't add more on, kind of like getting your hair cut. Use a hacksaw if you don't have power tools, but a miter saw makes quick work out of it and a clean cut. Use a drill bit slightly larger than the threaded rod. I used a 5/32 inch drill bit and drilled through the middle of the cap. I will provide a link to all the supplies and tools used in the description to make it easy for you. Do a test fit inserting the threaded rod. The hole drilled could have been slightly larger. Step up the next size bit or enlarge the hole as I did here with the same bit. Do another test fit and we're in business. Drill the same hole in the other cap as it's quicker to do all the steps at the same time when building more than one bait station. Thread on a wing nut on the end of the threaded rod. All the hardware is number 8, but also linked below to make it easier to find. This is how it should look inside the tee so it's not touching the bottom. Do a dry fit inserting the vertical pipe and cap, ensuring there is enough room on the top to place the washer and nut, while the distance at the bottom looking inside the tee still looks good. Slide the bait onto the threaded rod, and I use 3 mini bars. Place the threaded rod through the cap and place a washer and machine screw nut on top. Use a glove when touching the bait, and this is what it will look like. Place it inside the PVC pipe and push the top cap down. Check to ensure it looks good and is a good height inside the tee. Repeat the process for the second bait station. Regardless of wearing gloves or not, ensure to wash your hands really well and sanitize anything you touched when done. A total of 2 2-inch PVC pipes were used that were pre-cut at 2 feet each. The last section will be used for the entry points and divided up into 4 and cut at 6 inches each. Now that we have our entry points on each side of the tee cut at 6 inches, move the miter saw to 15 degrees. Trim each end at 15 degrees as this will avoid rain from getting into the bait stations. Regardless of your dust collection, miter saws and PVC makes a mess. Use a shop vac to clean up and hit both ends of each PVC pipe before final assembly. I did make one small adjustment and cut the vertical pipe at 7 1/2 inches for the final cut to make the bait hang at the perfect height. This looks good, and I'm getting excited to check for results in a couple of days. With these mini bars, it's clear if the pests are eating it or not, and when they do, your issue will quickly go away. Place the 6-inch cut pipes on each side of the tee as shown, with the longer side on the top. Once built, grab a tube strap for each side of the bait station and it's ready for install. I used traps in a previous video and free tunnels made from scrap cardboard for a cheap all-in cost of $5. Remove the spikes here that are simply 5-inch nails. They were hammered down as the ground is pretty tough. Place the bait stations where you've seen pests or where the highest visible activity is located with holes and lines in the yard. Push or hammer 5-inch nails into the straps of the bait station. The top caps can be removed to check if the bait is being ate, and keep watching to see if there is any activity in a couple of days. A couple of days later, we can see the pests are eating the bait, and in roughly 1 week, the voles were gone. I really appreciate you watching. If you like this video, I have another one queued up for you in the corner that you'd probably like as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I release new videos.